Hey everyone, Jeremy here. It is Thursday night and we're going to create some art. It's going to be awesome. So it is Thursday night. I thought I'd try something a little bit different tonight. I wanted to create something, that's like kind of traditional as far as like the drawing side of it goes, but also looks stylistically kind of cool. And I'm always trying to like up my game as far as like making my art look cooler. Um, it's one thing to be able to draw like a pretty picture. Like in this case, we're doing a horse tonight. I can draw a horse. That's not a problem. But I want to be able to make like a horse look cool. So I thought what I would do is I would kind of combine some pastel work with some watercolor work and see if that works. I've done this sort of in the past, but never like in any kind of like stylistic kind of way. So it's just an experimental night. Usually on Thursdays I don't get like a lot of viewers, so I figure I can screw up tonight and nobody would notice. Oh crap, there's people in the room. Hi Emily, hi kid, hi Rome Dog. Well, hopefully you guys forgive me if I screw this up, but we'll give it a shot. So what I did before the broadcast, just so that it could dry, is I used some watercolor to kind of like lay out kind of an abstract looking. You can sort of, if you like use your imagination, see a horse's face in this. It's kind of like meant to be like, I don't know, you're looking at a horse through, I don't know, like water on your windshield or something like that. But it's very abstract. So the idea is that I will take this and kind of transform it into a recognizable horse. That's the idea, at least. Oh, Kevin's here for the horse. Great. Yeah, Kevin loves horses, works with horses, and he's always up for horses. So this is gonna be cool. So I had to do all that before the thing. I think in the future I can do this like a live demonstration, just because like I did use a hair dryer to like let it dry and stuff like that. I could probably done that for you guys in real time. I just wasn't really sure. Like I said, this I'm experimenting tonight, so I wanted to make sure it was dry and good to go. So I kind of already did this beforehand. So hopefully you guys forgive me that. But otherwise, I'm just going to jump right in and start drawing. So, if you're into this, cool. Feel free to hang out with me and chat. If this ain't your thing, well, just hang out with me anyway, and we'll have some fun. Um, but yeah, like super excited about the weekend coming up. I think we're gonna get some more snow. So we had like a foot of snow earlier in the week, or like last weekend. I think we're supposed to get, yeah, the kids like, you ready for the next round of snow tomorrow? Yeah, I think we're supposed to get another 3 to 6 inches. So they haven't cleared my road yet. I've kind of just been rednecking it up the hill um, to get out, like to go to the grocery store and stuff like that. But I think I think it's probably going to start melting on Sunday anyway, so that's kind of cool. But until then, I'm kind of I expect to be fully snowed in tomorrow. So also the sorry, so I did the watercolor, and then I also did this clear gesso. I always forget to mention that. So this clear gesso, when working with pastel pencils or pastels in general, gives you like this kind of sandpapery tooth. I don't know if you can hear that, but it sounds like sandpaper. That allows you to like kind of pull your pastel across the page and kind of like sticks to it really well. So at this point, I'm not too worried about shapes and stuff. I just kind of want to figure out where the face is in this. So I'm just kind of laying stuff down. Usually with like pastel pictures, there's like an ugly face. I don't think this is going to be that ugly just because you already have the watercolor there, but I don't really know. We'll see. Like I said, this is kind of experimental. I've done some pictures where I've done pastel over like paint, but usually it's like acrylic. And I didn't do anything really cool like the drip effects and stuff like that. So my idea is that this will kind of just kind of punch up the stylistic side of my already cool pastel pictures that I do. I'm saying cool pastel pictures. I mean, you know, if you think they're cool. Some of them I really like. Like I like the eye I did yesterday. That or not yesterday, sorry, on Tuesday. I thought that turned out really nice. I was pretty happy with that one. And I want to do more cool things like that. I like the style of it. I like how it turned out. I like the color. Like I do so many black and white pictures that I really just want to get into mastering some color a little bit. like here, like even here, I'm trying to combine the coolness of blue with like the warmness of like browns and oranges and things like that. So that's the idea. So here I'm trying to add some brown just to kind of figure out where things are. I kind of had an idea, obviously, when I did the watercolor where things might go. Like obviously this is going to be his face and then hair kind of coming out and stuff like that. But you lose some of that whenever you do the abstract kind of splotches and everything everywhere. So I kind of have to find my way back into it. But that's okay. That's what we're here for. That's why we draw these things. And I'm starting with a lighter brown, and then I'll come back and maybe add some dark over it. Emily's like, I'm already cool, but I can be cooler. I love it. Yeah. Like there's always room for improvement. I think a joking, but like, yeah, I feel like when it comes to certainly my artistic skill, there's always room for improvement. And one of the improvements I think that I'd like to focus on this year, it's a new year, so I set out some goals for myself, is that I haven't really developed a like kind of a style that's all my own. There's some similarities in my pictures, but I don't really think I have like a signature style. So I'm still going to experiment with different styles until I kind of find one. But if nothing else happens this year, that would be kind of cool. Like if I had like a particular style that I feel comfortable with. I think the closest thing is my coffee art. And you might have noticed I haven't done much coffee art recently. Like I think the last one I did was like on Thanksgiving. And that's just because like I want to explore other things as well. So I'll definitely come back to it, but taking a little bit of a breather. Now, as I apply this pastel over this, I'm not at risk of doing it yet, but I don't want to get to the point where it's all pastel. I want the watercolor effect to kind of show through in addition to the pastel. Because like I think the two of them combined, if I had the time, which I don't, I don't have enough time in these live streams to do all the things, but I think what would be cool is you do the watercolor, you do the pastel over it, and then you kind of lock it in with some fixant, and then you come over that with some colored pencil. I think that trifecta would be really cool for like an overall like realism kind of like look in the face and things like that. That would be kind of cool. Have you seen Scott Christian Sava? I assume that's an artist, but no, I haven't. I don't think I have. Maybe I have. The name sounds familiar, but it doesn't ring a bell. So just assume I haven't. Yeah, and in fact, I'm terrible with names, so like I may have, and I just wouldn't even know. I'm just really terrible with names. Sometimes I forget my own name. No, I'm just kidding. But no, I'm gonna assume he's a really great artist. He puts my stuff to shame. I think that's probably a safe bet. The At this point, I'm still again just trying to figure out where the horse is. I think like this is mostly sketching. I'm not really trying to develop the horse just yet. You guys know how these things go. So I think here there's going to be like a little dark area. Get that in. And then I think out of here. He's a watercolor artist, very fun style, art style, mostly does shorts. Yeah, there's some really good artists on YouTube. So like I may have actually seen his work. Um, but yeah, there's some really good stuff on YouTube that I would love to just kind of pick for inspiration. Especially when it comes to watercolor. I'm not that great at watercolor yet. I feel like I will get there at some point. Um, but that is something I would like to get better at. Just painting in general. So this is kind of a bridge to that. I do like drawing, um, and I do like working with pastels. So this is kind of like, how do I punch up my pastels so that they look more painterly, I guess, or painted. Oh, just punch it up. I'm not the first person to do this, by the way. I'm not the first person to combine pastel with watercolor. It's pretty common. Um, there's a lot of artists here on YouTube who do it. I just don't remember their names. I need to look up their names just so that I can credit them for the idea. Um, I suck at that. I barely prepare for these things. I should have like a list of notes and stuff like that, but I don't. In fact, I don't even know what kind of horse I'm drawing here. It's one with like some splotches of white on it and brown. Um, I wish I knew. The thing is, I know that I have to do these drawings on Tuesdays and Thursdays just because they're scheduled and I want to do them. But then, I procrastinate and I don't even, like, I had no idea what I was going to draw tonight until about an hour ago. And then I'm like, oh, I got to prep for this. I should probably do it now. So what I like about drawing horses, for the artists out there, hey Larry, how's it going, man? What I like about drawing horses is it's a lot like drawing people, like figure art, where you're drawing like muscles and like like body positions and stuff like that. With horses, it's the same thing. You're basically drawing their anatomy, their muscles. They're very muscular creatures. I go to like horse shows and stuff where they actually like jump fences and stuff. So they have a lot of muscles in their body to be able to do that. And it's a lot of fun. I like drawing muscular creatures and I like drawing like things where you can see the muscles through the skin. And then I also like drawing like clothing where you have like a lot of folds and stuff like that. That's a lot of fun for me. And with horses and stuff, they're just beautiful creatures. So like you can never draw a bad looking horse. Like if you draw a horse that looks like a horse, it's going to be a pretty horse. We can assume it's a paint horse. Yeah. So yeah, I mean it's going to be a paint horse eventually, but yes, that is a breed. I don't know what the characteristics of an actual paint horse is, but yeah, let's call it a paint horse because it's painted. Even though I'm using dry pastels here, people still consider this painting. Uh, you paint with pastels. I call it drawing, just because like I don't want to like put on airs or anything like that. But it is technically painting. Like people call it painting, professionals. You're just painting with the dry medium. That's all. And this is probably outside of charcoal. This is probably the most common dry medium. Most common color drawing medium is pastels. Like there's if you go to an art show, there's going to be pastel artists there for sure. Geppetto's doing the backstroke. Yeah, he's like, well, I wanted him waving high, but he's kind of upside down. For those who don't know, Geppetto is the stick figure up there, or the stick man. He's been with us since the beginning. He's my co-host for this show. Again, I don't want the whole thing to be pastel. I want the watercolor to kind of show through. Um, but I gotta get some features in here so I know where everything is first. It almost sounds like you're scraping across chalkboard when you're using pastel, which I kind of, a lot of people hate that noise. I don't mind it. If I ever minded it in school or whatever, I'm over it. I don't even know. Do schools have chalkboards anymore? Or have they gone digital, or how's that work? Um, oh, you're supposed to get 4 or 5 inches, kid. That's a big deal down south. Down south, that's enough to kind of like just shut everything down. That's crazy. Um, Warhorse says, "Is there something about you're using pastels that would differentiate it from drawing?" I don't know why they consider it pastel working with pastels painting, but they do call it that. I don't so much, and I don't want to like rain on anybody's parade. I just consider it kind of pretentious to call it painting. Um, I consider it drawing, but I can see it because like. if you're using the pencils, you're definitely drawing, right? But like, often I'm just using broad strokes and stuff with these sticks and everything. It's just like painting with the paintbrush. The same techniques. You build up layers. It's not like drawing with the pencil. So I think that that's the distinction. So like you are painting because you're building up layers of color. I don't know. And like I said, I never went to school for any of this stuff, so I don't know the technicals of it. Like I don't know why they call it painting, but in my mind, it seems like it is like painting. It's not like drawing with a pencil. Even though I'm using a pencil, I'm using a pastel pencil. It's not like that. Let's see. I want to build up. So I want the face to kind of have some detail to it and be like a little bit more realistic than some of this other stuff. I want this other stuff to be more abstract, which I think it's got a good shot at it right now. You see I'm switching back and forth between different pencils. So like, you would think when you're drawing like a horse, the horse is all one color. They're not. They are never all one color. Like even if they are the same color, the light hits it in different ways. So like, even if you were to say this brown is what this brown horse is going to look like, there's going to be various colors working with that to get kind of capture the light and all that stuff. And blending stuff, there it is. Crayon would be the bridge between pastel pencil gap. So I've used crayons to draw pictures and stuff. What I think is best for crayons, and like if you YouTube it, you'll find like a lot of examples of this. There's something called encaustic painting. I think it's considered painting as well. Encaustic, which is wax-based painting, and I've actually got like a big tub of crayons. I was going to try this sometime, but melted wax is considered painting, and you can do some really cool stuff with it. I could do some really cool stuff with it if I ever got around to it. But what you need is like a hot plate, and then put your paper over it, and then you can like melt your crayon as you're going along. I just don't have a big enough hot plate to do that, and I also kind of don't want to set my house on fire, which I know would happen if I tried it. I think I could pull it off without setting the house on fire. I've tried it where I'm using like a hair dryer to melt the wax and stuff, and it comes out okay. But I think it would be a lot. I think you can create better art if you had a hot plate and you had your paper over it. Now, that said, do not try that at home, kids. I have not tried it myself. I don't know if it's safe. I don't. I would suspect that it's probably not safe, but I also do not safe things sometimes because I'm an adult and I have insurance on my house. Um, do not like go off and get a hot plate because you think that's going to be awesome and try that. I think it would work though. I really would. I'm going to try that at some point. Maybe I'll try it offline so I don't encourage anybody to do things. Yeah, we're doing mixed media today, Willie. Trying to create a cool horse instead of just a boring horse. I want to create some cool style here. All right, so I kind of want to get the eye in here, just so that I kind of have an idea. I'm going to very lightly kind of pencil in. Well, this is a charcoal pencil, but charcoal works really well with pastel. I'm going to kind of figure out what the eye might look like so that I can build off of that, the rest of it. Yeah, I'm always saying, like, if you get the eye right, people will forgive you other things, because, like, the eyes are the windows of the soul. That's the same with animals. You know, you can ask any horse girl out there. Horses have a soul, and it comes through their eyes. They love their horses. Um, I think I've mentioned it before. I probably mentioned it before. I used to work for a horse organization, so like I've been around horses a lot. I don't know a ton about horses. I don't have any horses. Hey, have a good time, Emily. Maybe you can watch the VOD later. I appreciate you hanging out with us. Um, I don't have any horses myself, but I have a deep appreciation for them. I have a lot of friends who own horses, and I could probably go and ride a horse if I ever wanted to. They would let me, but I just don't have any horses of my own. But I'm always around horses and stuff, and because I live in Kentucky, and we're just basically Central Kentucky is basically the horse capital of the world. That's what they say on their marketing materials, and it's true. Um, but I just love the animals. They're just so awesome. Like I said, you can't draw if you draw a horse that looks like a horse, it's not going to be an ugly horse. There's no such thing as an ugly horse, which is like half the battle, right? So like if you want to draw stuff that people like, just draw pretty things. It's it's not complicated, If you want to draw things that people respond to, draw pretty things. And horses definitely fit that bill. Not everybody likes horses, but it's more like they don't like them because they're scared of them or something. I'm scared of horses. I don't trust them. I think that one day I will get kicked in the face by a horse, but it hasn't happened yet. Knock on wood. Um, but I do think that, like, you have to be a little safe around them. They're big lumbering animals and stuff. You can definitely get in trouble around them and stuff like that. But also, you shouldn't sweat it too much. I mean, I've seen people go up and just push a horse and stuff because they were in their way and stuff. The horses don't care. They're just I've never seen a horse like maybe a frightened horse or something. I've seen frightened horses, but I've never seen a horse get mad because you just kind of pushed it. A little bit of darkness in there for like the hair. It's gonna be kind of like a little part here. The problem with drawing horse hair is it kind of goes all over the place, and you know, if you kind of straighten it up and make it like unruly, then not unruly. If you straighten it up and make it look less chaotic, there you go, orderly. It doesn't look realistic. And if you just like leave it kind of like crazy all over the place, it doesn't make for a great picture. Like that's something that horse photographers struggle with a lot is getting the hair to looking right. Willie says, I saw a horse lose its mind at a horse race and it got put down. I think, oh, that's sad. Yeah, horses get put down way, way too much. It's sad. The problem is horses are always trying to put themselves down. Like they have so many health problems anyway, and they're always trying to hurt themselves. Like I've talked before about the real expense with horses is not buying a horse, it's maintaining a horse because like it's all vet bills. Still I'm not kind of like getting too detailed with these features. I just kind of want to get them in there so that I know they're there. I always worry about running out of time with these things. Like I've gotten pretty good lately. I know last year, or like the year before last, maybe I don't know. There were some streams that I had that went on for like 3 hours and stuff. I don't want to put people through that. So I'm always worried about running out of time and not being able to finish the picture. But I guess I shouldn't worry about that. A lot of other people who do live streams, they don't do the whole picture in one sitting. I I try to. So I mean, it's kind of cool. It's something that makes my channel a little bit different than others. It's something I bring to the table, maybe. Um, but also, it's like what kind of work can I create in the time allowed? I don't know, but I am pretty happy with the work I've put out and the time that I put out. I grew up watching Bob Ross. Bob Ross always finished his work in one sitting. There was a couple of other artists that I remember. There was this one guy I remember. Like, I don't know if this was on public television or something, but it was like story time, and he would tell a story and he would draw pictures while he's telling the story, and they weren't very detailed or anything like that, but they were pictures that went along with the story. So like if you had like a little boy who's walking through the woods or something, he would draw that in pastels and then quickly throw that to the side and move on to another one. So like I don't know, you see like court reporters, um, courtroom artists and stuff working with pastels. It's also that they can quickly get it done. It's not like it's masterful work or anything like that. It's just quickly done. I think that's what that guy was. He was like kind of like a courtroom. artists repurposed for like children's television where they were telling children's stories. Well, he says he hit his head on the metal bar. I think maybe reins were hurting his teeth because he was swinging his head all about. Oh, that's sad. That's sad. Yeah, horses go crazy sometimes too. Cooper says, amazing work, Jeremy. Thanks, Coop. Appreciate it. I like Coop. Coop just pops in every now and then just to say hi. I love it. Appreciate it, Coop. All right, so we got some ears in here. I think we'll go ahead and shadow going back here. So I'm not really sure what parts I'm going to leave abstract and what parts I'm not. So I don't mind kind of feeling my way around this. And if it ends up where there's like unfinished lines and stuff like that, I think I'm okay with that. I think that'll look cool. So like if there's just like a line leading out to nowhere here, right? Like that's fine. You know, I think that's cool. That's part of the style, I think. I think the style I'm going for here is like finished, unfinished, you know, where there's some detailed parts, but then they lead into like abstraction. And again, like I say, I'm also experimenting here. This is not something I'm used to. So I'm kind of filling it out as I go, filling my way around. That's the other thing on my channel. You know, like this may surprise people because I have been around for a little while. You know, I'm going on, this is my third year on YouTube, going into my third year. And it might surprise people to know that I don't practice outside of these live streams. You know, I really should, and I would if I had time, but I usually don't. Uh, you know, I work for a living. I try to get projects done and stuff like that. So I don't practice these techniques before coming on here and then practicing them live. So you guys get the real deal here, where I'm just as likely to screw up the picture as not. So I hope I don't, but you never know. So what I'm liking here is here in this face, you got kind of like this light area and then like, you know, some dark areas. That's actually how horses look. So you have this blend of different skin tones throughout the horse's face. So I think that's kind of cool that that's coming through. And it's not like I planned that. It's just the way it's working out. Yeah, I got up to 1,000 subs, Willie. That's cool. The Grinch picture that I did put me over. I had like 970, and then I guess people like the Grinch. I should probably do more pop culture kind of things like that. People seem to like it. I think people are upvoting the Grinch, not me. But that's okay. I'll take it. I appreciate it, guys. You guys are awesome. Nothing really comes with like 1,000 subscribers. You still have to have like a certain amount of watch hours to participate in anything, but it's fine. It's just, you know, pat myself on the back. I think that's kind of cool. Got people hanging out with me. It would be awesome if like all 1,000 people were in the chat room at one time. Like you probably wouldn't be able to follow along what anybody's saying, but that would be kind of cool. Lorraine says, you're very talented, Jeremy. Thank you. I appreciate that. I really do. Um, I I don't know. I see other people's work, and I get really I really think that their work is better. So I don't know. You always judge yourself by like others. You know, you guys look at this and you guys might like it and stuff. I look at it and I'm like, well, I can probably make a lot of improvements. But I do appreciate it. I appreciate you saying that. And you know, yeah, I'm not blind. I think that my new work is probably a little bit better than some of my old work. Um, so I do see some improvement there and stuff. Um, so it's not like I'm looking at this as like, oh, this is garbage. Yeah, I do think that this actually looks pretty cool. Like if somebody else did this, I would be like, oh, that's awesome. You know, I think that's what it is. Like if I went down to like one of the art galleries here in Lexington and I saw this and somebody else had painted this and stuff, I'd be like, wow, that person's really talented. But because I did it, all I see is mistakes. but it's not done yet. You know, a lot of room for mistakes here. I'll create some more. Give me a minute. Give me a minute. I'll do better on the mistakes. I'll make a lot more mistakes for you. I think we got a basic face in there. That's kind of cool. I need some nose work in here though. You have a great idea. Sorry, great eye for detail. You always manage to put soul in your subjects. Thank you. I really do appreciate that. Um, like I say, I've been blessed to have some really nice models. So, like, you know, when you're drawing a horse, if the horse looks like a horse, it looks like a pretty horse. And it's the same way with dogs. Like people, um, Lorraine's eye turned out great. That wasn't intentionally Lorraine's eye. If Lorraine thinks that that looks like her eye, I'll take it. That's awesome. I was just drawing an eye. But if that's your eye, Lorraine, that's great. Um, but yeah, so like, you know, if I draw a dog and the dog turns out looking pretty and stuff, it's because the dog was pretty. It's not because I'm talented or anything like that. I just faithfully drew a dog. That's all. You know, dogs are pretty animals, you know. The secret is that I actually go looking for cute animals to draw, you know, like I want you guys to look at it and be like, "Oh, that's cute" and stuff. Well, you know, half that is well, I picked doing a little hedgehog. Hedgehogs are adorable, right? So like if I do a hedgehog, you guys are gonna be like, "Oh, that's adorable." It has nothing to do with my skill or anything like that. It has to do with the hedgehog. You know, kittens are cute. If I draw a kitten that looks like a kitten, it's going to be a cute kitten. I've never seen an ugly cat. Ah, that's not true. I've seen some ugly cats. I've never seen an ugly kitten. Kittens are always cute. And I mean, honestly, horses, same deal. Like, I love horses. Horses are beautiful animals. Um, like I said, some people might be afraid of horses and stuff, but like, I don't think anybody would ever look at a horse and be like, "Oh, that's an ugly horse." I would love to see an ugly horse. Like, I mean, animals can't help but look beautiful, right? So, like for Deadpool, they used Peggy, which was the dog that was voted to the Britain's ugliest dog. So it's a British dog. I forget what kind of dog, um, but it was like literally voted Britain's ugliest dog. But Peggy is so cute. I'm talking about Dogpool from the Deadpool movie. You know, some of you guys may not have seen the Deadpool movie, but you might have seen the dog. I actually drew the dog. You can't help but like that dog, even though that dog looks like a train wreck. It looks like you know, the hair is just all frizzy, the tongue like hangs out and stuff. Like it just looks like a weird dog, but it's adorable. You can't have an ugly like what's the saying? There's no ugly babies. It's the same thing. You know, there's no such thing as an ugly dog. Like even those little pug things that look weird and stuff like that, they're still cute. The wash at the start was a great way to begin. Thank you. Yeah, I wish I could have demonstrated that. I think I'm going to do that next time because like I was concerned that it wouldn't dry in time, but I used a hair dryer on it, and the only thing that kind of sucks about using the hair dryer is that you had like little pools down here that would have probably dried a little bit darker. I think that would look cool, but because you know I used a hair dryer. The other thing is I had to put that gesso on it. So I had to get the watercolor dry and then also get the gesso on there and then get the gesso dry. So I was concerned about time. Um, but I think I can pull it off to where I can do like a full demonstration sometime. And I was concerned about how much time that would take also away from the actual drawing part. But maybe I'll do like a standalone picture or video or something where I'm doing the whole process, kind of like time lapsed or something like that. But yeah, so starting with the watercolor gives you the opportunity to like make your drawing. And you know, I'm using pastel pencils here. You could just as easily be using colored pencils or you know pencil or something like that or graphite pencils. Um, I prefer. I wanted to do a color picture, so I had to do the pastels. But yeah, I mean, same technique. Like say you used black watercolor and then came back with like graphite pencils. I think that would look cool. I think that would look very cool actually. It would look like I don't know. I've done some charcoal pictures where it kind of like is that style and it always turns out nice. So anyway, I don't know. It's just an effort to kind of like punch up my drawing and make it like a little bit more interesting than maybe what it could have been. I don't know. These horses. It's sometimes hard to do the nose. It's like a weird shape. That would be cool. Yeah, I think that not everybody out there has pastels and stuff like that. You can do this with colored pencils as well. Like a lot of people, a lot of the younger artists and stuff, they gravitate towards colored pencils. But yeah, same idea. Or you can do this with like charcoal. Like I said, you can do like a the thing about it is like watercolor's like so inexpensive and it's often kind of difficult to put in like massive amounts of area and make it look cool with uh with these dry mediums. And it's all about layers. So like this is just the bottom layer and then you can kind of build up from it and stuff like that. It's I don't know. I think it's worth exploring for people. A little bit of this like kind of peachy kind of color in here. There's a little bit in his nose. I kind of got it for free over here with this kind of like reddish brown, but Jeremy, the horse is gorgeous. Love the colors. Thank you, NJ. I appreciate it. After leaving the bar, the cowboy storms back in and yells, "Who painted my horse?" A 7-foot hulk of a man stood up and said, "I did." The cowboy looked up at him and said, "The first coat is dry now." Painted your horse. I love that. That's great. You guys have the best jokes. You guys really do. Um, this might be a painted horse. I see. I kind of suck with that stuff. That was stuff that I was supposed to know at my old job. So my old job was software development, but I was around horse people, and it being a horse organization, I was even quizzed on horses at some point, and I probably knew enough to pass, but I would not be able to tell you any of that stuff. I have a book around here that covers the 96 different horse breeds in North America. I couldn't tell you, like, I could probably name off 10 from memory, and that's it. 96 different breeds in North America, and I don't remember any of them. Like you always remember the easy ones. So the easy ones are like thoroughbreds. Those are the ones that they race. Um, Around here, it's easy enough to remember saddlebreds because they always have like a saddlebred show at the Kentucky State Fair. I know Paso Finos, which is like the Latin American horses, just because I was around the Pasofino Horse Association so much. Those are a trip. Like if you ever want to be entertained, watch a Pasofino show. They basically tap dance and stuff, and like it's very cool. I love Pasofino horses. The let's see, what are some of the other ones? Lusitanos, Andalusians. I don't know how to like recognize any of these and stuff. I don't know how I could point one out to anybody, but I know that they exist. I want to get some value up in here for this stuff. These blending stumps you should really think of as a drawing tool. Like, you can obviously use them to blend, but also you can use them to draw, and you're just drawing lighter than what you would normally draw. Great tool for that. All right, so I'm pretty happy with that face. Now I need to figure out how do I get some of the other things in there. Um, there were some, I don't know if this is going to work, but let me give it a shot. Sorry for reaching across the paper. I hate doing that to you guys. Let's see if I can get, yeah, see, I use this white pastel and it never works out the way I want. It's not very opaque. Yeah, I would have to come back in and try to use the, so I use this stick because the other one's opaque and you have to barely use the edge. Sorry, I'm leaning all into this picture just to get this like little edge. I kind of want this kind of like backlit highlighted edge. Yeah, that looks good though. It's kind of like little highlights and stuff up through here. So that's the other thing. So like I've got some blue in here from the watercolor, but if I come over it with white, you get this like little highlighted side and stuff. It's kind of hard to see on the camera, but it gives you like even extra detail. So like an extra layer of detail. If we had 1,000 chat, we would be the mod squad. Yeah, so I would definitely need to set some up some mods. If we had like 1,000, they'd be like, I don't know. I've seen the other people's channels and stuff. They always talking about like the political stuff, like Palestine, and you know, I would definitely have to have some mods. Because like we're an art show, we're just here for the art. We don't care about politics and what's going on in the world. The fact that the whole world's burning at the moment. Oh, that's so sad. If any of you guys are in California, my heart goes out to you guys. Um, you know, I wish you guys all the best and be safe. Some of the places that are hit, I took I took a couple of trips out to California. Um, one I went to like a San Francisco, and obviously that's not affected. But I have been to Los Angeles once back in 2010, so I'm sure it's changed a lot since then. But some of the places that are affected are the most beautiful places in the like out there. I stayed at a hotel in Marina del Rey, which hasn't been affected yet, but I spent a lot of time at Venice Beach, and you can see the fires from Venice Beach. And obviously I was just a tourist, so I traveled up into the mountains and things like that, and you know, there outside of Malibu, all of that. Oh, it's just so beautiful up there, and I hope it stays that way. I hope that they are able to recover quickly. I hope that it's not just so terrible. Um, my brother had two horses in Florida. He would race. It was too expensive to keep them and very sad to give them away. Yeah, that's what sucks about horses. They do get kind of expensive when it comes to like vet bills. My daughter works with someone who lost their home. Yeah, I keep running into a lot of people who know people who have lost their homes. It's sad. It's terrible. I feel so bad for people. Again, if anybody out there in California is watching this show, best of luck. I hope that you guys are able to quickly recover and that you don't lose everything, you know. I know that possessions aren't everything. Like you would rather your family be okay and you lose like, I don't know, family photos or something like that. The real people in them and stuff are what matters. Um, but that said, obviously, um, losing your stuff is not good. So I'm so sorry you guys have to go through that. It's terrible. Like honestly, like it's apocalyptic. Like if you look at any of the videos, it's just terrible. It's like so many people. Um, Trying to wear it. Yeah. All right. So where do I want to go with this? I want to keep things sort of abstract, but I do kind of want to get some detail in here. So I think I'm going to kind of come down here. How are we doing on time? Wow, we are only 45 minutes into this. Like literally, I could call this done now. I'm not going to, but that's amazing. It's because some of that prep work did take time. Like I want to say maybe, I don't know, at least a half hour in getting the background in there. Yeah, and horses will saddle you with responsibilities and expenses. I love it. Yeah, that's so true. You kind of want it. Yeah, so again, it's a bed builds because like they constantly have so many problems. I have a well, my brother's girlfriend. She works, or I don't think she works there now. I think because she just had a kid. I think she's taken some time off. But she worked at a place called Hagyard, which is a pretty respectable like vet around here for like some of the major horse farms in the area and stuff. And you know, they see these horses on a daily basis, and it's like it's just crazy how many different ways a horse can get hurt. Then you know, like people actually compete with these things, and so like they'll jump over gates and stuff like that. Like that's actually a controversial sport. Um, Cross country eventing where they jump over gates and stuff like that. Some people think, well, maybe they shouldn't be doing that. It's a lot of fun to watch though. I still have some video that I'm supposed to put up of that event here in Kentucky cross country eventing where they jump the things and stuff. I'll get around to it eventually. I kind of suck when it comes to that stuff. I want a little bit of brown through here, but not too much. I want it to kind of come down and disappear a bit. Up it down this way. So I kind of just throw it down and then I drag my finger across it just to kind of smear it out. And then I look at it and I'm like, well, that kind of looks like garbage. So then I come back with a like a pencil or something that can kind of tighten it up. So kind of clean up the edges and so on. But that is my technique, I would say, for this. I do want to kind of get the neck in here a little bit. I kind of want that to be blurred a little bit more. There you go. That's nice. All right, so I like that. I like that they're, well, I kind of smudged it too much, but I like that there's kind of a highlight through there. That's good. Get some more dirt down in there so that I can come back and get like a bit of an edge here because like I said when drawing horses uh you know like they're short-haired animals like a lot of dogs are like this as well but it's definitely horses you're drawing you're not so much drawing the fur you're drawing the muscle structure underneath you know so like through here you got kind of like just like with humans you have the trachea or whatever it is the trachea or whatever it is. You can tell I went to anatomy class. The trachea or whatever it is that comes down through the neck. Um, that kind of stuff is what you're drawing. You're drawing the underlying muscle structure. You're not really drawing fur, especially like this zoomed out. Like if you were like kind of zoomed in a little bit, you might be able to get like some fur texture in there and stuff like that. I guess it's not really fur on a horse. Man, that's tough to say. Fur. Um, it's horsehair or hide, I guess. So this horse has some features that come through. You can see. Sometimes I have to clean my hands because they're contaminated. So like I've got all this brown on it. So if I want to blur out some white, I need to clean my hands. Jeremy, you're gonna need bigger paper to make your horses fill this fill the slot. Yeah, so I do want to draw a bigger. That's another goal of mine for this year. I want to draw bigger things. So this is a 9 by 12. That's usually what I draw on for these streams. Because again, it's not just drawing a pretty picture. I have to get it done in the amount of time that I allow myself for these things. So I am limited. Um, so one of my goals for this year, and it may take several streams or it may take individual standalone videos or something to accomplish, but I want to do bigger stuff. I want to do like a big full body picture or something of that nature. Draw like like a life-size human or a life-size horse or something like that. Probably a horse. Little white streaks through the through here, outlining. Let's see. I love working with pastel. I'm sorry, guys. This is probably one of my favorite mediums. Um, Especially like when you can couple it with watercolor like this and just kind of go to town and kind of combine the two. I know this is mixed media, but it's really showcasing the the extraordinariness of both mediums. So like the watercolor is doing the watercolor work very well, and then the pastel is doing the pastel work really well. Um, it's not like one is outshining the other. They're both doing exactly what they're supposed to be doing. Get that little edge there. There we go. Cool. Man, that looks like a horse. That's nice. Jeremy is very nice. Thank you. I appreciate that. Jeremy, did you get snow? Did I get snow? Yes. Over the last week, I have gotten so much snow. I got a foot of snow over the last weekend, which is not melted yet because we've been like in the 20s. So that has not gone away. And then tonight, it might be out there snowing now. I don't know. Tonight we're supposed to get another 3 to 6 inches. So yeah, I've gotten way more snow than I'm used to here in Kentucky. Usually here in Kentucky we get one decent snowfall of like 3 inches, and that's it for the entire year. This is not normal. I don't know. So I'm not a smart person when it comes to like things like climate change and stuff like that. But I have noticed that the weather has been different in this region over the past couple of years. It is not normal for us to get this kind of weather. So what all that means, I have no idea. I just know that uh, things have changed, and it's not like things have gotten hotter or colder. It's just things have gotten weird. We got more tornadoes than usual. We've gotten more. Sometimes it's warmer, sometimes it's colder than usual. It's never normal. It's just erratic. It's like just all over the place, and that's not normal for this area. So I like science. Science is fun and stuff like that. I'm inclined to believe that climate change is a thing that we should be concerned about. I don't know what we're supposed to do about it. I'm not here to tell anybody to change their lives and stuff like that. I'm just telling you we got a shit ton of snow outside that we usually don't get. So whatever we can do to fix that, I would appreciate it. Rumdog says if you portrait stream, you get traffic from shorts. Yeah, that's true. I think people like my horse or like my animal pictures and stuff. I've tried to do like some portraits of people, and I don't know, mixed bag there. I think if I got better at it, I could probably do that kind of stuff. Yeah, I recognize that people enjoy watching those. People really do like watching portraits. Like if I did a portrait and I tagged it as a portrait, like I actually put that keyword in my shorts or something like that, it's probably going to get more views than this lovely horse that I'm drawing now. But that's just because YouTube's biased. Like YouTube is biased against horses. That's what the problem is. Um, I think that if YouTube realized how special horses were, and they really promoted horse pictures, we'd be in business. But no, they all want people pictures. Whatever. The horse painting looks silky smooth. Thank you. Yeah, I think it's got that kind of look that I try to get in my pictures. I'm not I'm still working on perfecting it and stuff like that, but I like where the central focus area is like detailed or like realistic, and then it becomes less realistic the further you get away from it. I think this is a good example of that. And I'm trying to make it look that way, so I can't say it's by accident, but also I'm not 100% sure how it's pulling that off. So I wouldn't call it, I can't call it an accident because I'm really trying, but also I'm surprised it's working out. How's that? It's a surprising outcome here, but I'll take it. I'm pretty happy with this horse. I like it. I like my horses that I do. Not all of them turn out great, but they're always fun. I do a lot of horses because I live in Kentucky and I see horses all the time. So, like if you lived on the coast, you would probably do a lot of seascapes. Around here, there's like a lot of horse farms. I see horses all the time. I love horses. So I do a lot of horse pictures. And for me, I feel comfortable doing horses. A lot of people don't. The horses have strange structures to them that we're not really like. You might be used to drawing people's faces because you grew up doing it, and you do it all the time and stuff. That's kind of how I feel about with horses. I've done enough horses where I feel comfortable doing it. Like I said, they don't always turn out perfect, but that's okay. I feel comfortable drawing horses. So whenever I'm trying something new, like I am trying now, where I'm doing pastel over watercolor, um, I'm probably going to draw a horse. And then if the horse turns out well, I might experiment with something else, like another animal, like a dog or a cat or something like that. But I mean, there's no mystery here. Like if you go back through all of my stuff that I've done, whenever I'm trying something new, I'm almost always going to do a horse, just because like one. I know that people like horses and stuff, especially around here. I can show this picture to all my horse friends, and they'll be like, "Oh, I love it" and stuff. Maybe people on YouTube. I mean, I'm not saying that you guys don't like it. I'm just saying that like maybe people on YouTube might be critical of it, but my friends will certainly like this horse, and that's good enough for me. Um, but yeah, so like if I'm experimenting, I know that my go-to horse will probably turn out well. And then, I'll expand into doing other things and stuff. Give other things a shot. But I'll always try with the horse first. Just because they're such incredible creatures. And, they're really, like, the horse itself is adaptable to so many different kind of styles. So like you can take a horse and draw something super realistic. You can take a horse and draw something abstract. You can take a horse and draw a stick figure horse. There's so many different ways to draw a horse. Horses, like dogs, have been with human beings since forever, right? So like we're entwined with horses. So like we're always going to be there with the horses and identify with the horses, and it's just a great animal to work with. I think it's like if you pick a medium that you like working with, whether it's like painting and watercolor or pastels or graphite or charcoal or whatever it may be. Sometimes you pick a subject matter that really resonates with you. For some people, it's portraits of people. I'd like to get there at some point, but for me right now, it's dogs and horses. Dogs and horses, that's my thing. with the occasional Grinch or other assorted pop culture creatures. But yeah, you will always catch me drawing horses. It's because they're beautiful. I'm really just a little 12-year-old horse girl at heart. That's all I am, deep down inside. Kid said, Jeremy, that's a beautiful horse. Maybe she's barn with it. Maybe it's Nay Baleen. Are you coming up with these yourself, or are you finding these? That's good. That's a good one. Yeah, I'm just yeah, Kevin, like you know how it is. I'm just a little 12-year-old horse girl at heart. I wanted a pony. I didn't get one. I don't know. I don't think anybody in my family had horses. Like I was thinking about that growing up. Yeah, I don't think anybody in my family had any horses. Horses were for like the not the rich folk, but the folk who could afford vet bills. Yeah, my family always had a dog. My dad never really liked cats, so we didn't have cats. I didn't have cats until I was an adult. I've grown to appreciate cats as well, but we were always dog people. All right, so I'm liking this. I think that's pretty good. Maybe I'll put in like a few tips to this here, just kind of like straighten it up a little bit and make it less weird. Make it a little bit whimsical. Um, but otherwise, I kind of like this side. I'm going to stop messing with that side. I think this side's done. I will work on this a little bit, but also I don't want to do too much over here. I think that's looking pretty good. I think I'm going to focus down here, to be honest. Where's Papa Ernest tonight? I don't know. He usually watches. I don't know. Sometimes he lurks. He might be lurking. Usually not far. They always check out my work at some point, like maybe it's the next day or something like that. Him and my mom, they're my number one fans. They're so cute. Like they're always saying, "Hey, you should draw this, you should draw that," and stuff. But usually it's kind of like weird stuff. Like I don't know. I'm like nobody cares about watching that, Dad. I don't know why you want me to draw like a Twinkie or something. Like I don't know what he like. That's probably a bad example. Like, but yeah, I like he always wanted me to draw weird stuff. But as an artist, you have to have your patrons. You draw what your patrons want. I think about that sometimes, like what the life of an artist was like back in the day. So I don't just do art. I appreciate art. Like I'm a consumer of art. I love going to art museums. I love learning about art. Like historical art, even art I don't understand, art that has nothing to do with anything that I'm interested in. Like I don't know, like abstract expressionism, for example. It's kind of cool. I get the idea behind it. Mark Rothko creates some really cool pictures. Like there is a Mark Rothko picture at the Cincinnati Art Museum, and I grew up as a kid going to that art museum and stuff, so I know it. It's familiar. It's like an old friend. I don't get it. I kind of get the idea behind abstract expressionism, how it's supposed to evoke something in you and stuff like that. But once it's done that, it kind of like, okay, what else can it do, right? Um, so it's not my favorite work, but even that, I'm a connoisseur of it. So, like I said, I grew up seeing that piece of art at the Cincinnati Art Museum. The great thing about the Cincinnati Art Museum, for those who don't know, is it's totally free. There was an endowment from somebody, I should probably know their name, but I don't, where it's basically in perpetuity, it's free for forever. And like sometimes they have special exhibits or something that cost money. Like I went and saw like a samurai sword exhibit, paid a little extra for that just because samurais are awesome. Um, but yeah, in general, it doesn't cost anything to go to the Cincinnati Art Museum. So obviously, as a kid growing up in Cincinnati as a teenager, um, when something's free, that's what you're doing all the time. Like you take all your girlfriends there on dates, you go there for fun, you go there just to pass time, because it's free. It doesn't cost you anything. Uh, so I spent a lot of time at the Cincinnati Art Museum. So I'm a fan of art. I'm a fan of art history. I'm a fan of like artists themselves, all of that stuff. Um, I don't know what my point was with all of this. I'm just saying that like you know, I don't just I don't just draw pictures. I I live the lifestyle. I love art. It's like it's more than a hobby to me. I think it's one of the most important things that humans get up to is like creativity, building things, and that comes in all shapes and forms. Like your work is your art. Your family is your art. Your the little people you create, that's art. Some people call them kids, whatever. They're art. Um, all that stuff matters. But I do think it's the most important thing, for humans to do. It's what we do. It's super important. I don't know where I was going with that. I forget how I started talking about that, but yeah, I love art museums. I love the lifestyle. I love the history. I spend a lot of time looking up artists and like getting familiar with their work. Even like I said, even if I don't understand their work, like even if it's not my thing, um, like Gustav Klimt, The Kiss. Everybody always shows that famous piece. It's not my thing. It's not something I would ever create. But I appreciate it. I appreciate what he was going for there. I do wear the artist hat. Yes, that's part of my brand. Like the hat is part of my thing. Yeah, you gotta look the part, right? Like nobody's gonna trust a skinny chef, right? Like you have to have a little bit of weight on you so that people believe that you actually cook. And nobody trusts an artist who doesn't have like some sort of style to themselves. I was thinking about that today. I need to get more eccentric so that people buy me as an artist. I need to start wearing like I don't know, like purple clothing or something just to like have a kind of like a style or something like that people would call eccentric. Yeah, Kevin knows. Like Kevin hangs out with me in real life sometimes. I'm always wearing this hat. I gotta look the part. And it's a puppy hat too. Yeah, that is my other passion. Like, uh, and, it's not like I drink like a lot or like I'm a connoisseur to where I can tell you the different bourbons and what they're all about and stuff like that. But I do appreciate them, and I do appreciate the pub lifestyle. So like I like going to and it's not just pubs. I like going to coffee shops and not like Starbucks type coffee shops, but like um the old ones where people would read like poetry and stuff on like Friday nights and things like that. I love that kind of vibe. Um, so that's my thing. Um, yeah, you find that with pubs, but also with like coffee shops and things like that. I love coffee just as much as I love bourbon. But yeah, um, yeah, that's the authentic me. I think that people should be. That's so like there's a I don't know different things that people hold on to as like important and stuff like that. One of the things that I hold on to and I think is really super important is authenticity. Um, Not kidding about the coffee. Thanks, Gavin. Gavin's backing me up on everything, so that's great. Um, no, I truly think that for better or worse, you can be a train wreck. It doesn't matter. You should be an authentic train wreck. Everybody should be authentic. Oh, look at that falling apart there. Um, there you go. I think that people should be authentic, whatever that means. Like whatever they are. They should be authentically that. And I like to be authentic as much as I can. Like, you know, everybody everybody has like, times where they can't really be themselves, like sometimes at work and stuff, but you should try at least. You should try to be yourself, whatever that is. And you should give it a shot. And you should always like, I don't know, people lie sometimes and stuff like that, but you should try really hard to be true to yourself. I don't know where I'm going with that. I just think the authenticity is super important. It might be the only thing important, to be honest. If you're not authentic with yourself, at least, what are you even doing? What, like, what are you even doing? What's it all about if you can't be real? So I think that's important, and I think that has a lot to do with art. Art is an authentic experience. Maybe not this art. Like this isn't. I'm not. I'm not like creating any kind of like high concept art here or anything like that. But I think you get what I'm saying. I think like if you don't bring your authentic self to it, like I'm trying to explain this, I'm like, Jeremy, you're not making any sense. Just give it up. But hopefully you guys understand what I'm saying. Yeah, thank you, MJ. Try to be genuine. Like even if it's like terrible, like be a genuine terrible person. If you're gonna be like if you're gonna be be a politician if you're gonna be a genuine terrible person. But yeah, always be true. And that I should probably qualify that with sometimes I joke around, sometimes I say things that aren't true and all that stuff. But that's just joking. Like when I try to be sincere, I try to like you know tell you guys how it actually is. So like if I tell you like I'm not so sure if my art really is great or not and stuff, I'm really feeling that. That's a genuine thing. Yeah, I'm not sure where I'm going with that, but hopefully I didn't botch that too much. Anywho, Jeremy, beautiful horse. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. I really do. Um, so I kind of want to get. So he's got like this back here. So I'm going to come back to that hair here in a minute. But he's got this back that kind of comes out like from here. I want to get that at least outlined. So this is what's great about using pastel over the watercolor. It just looks really good together. So like I can put this like little highlight across the back here and just kind of like bring it across and kind of blend it out and stuff. Kind of get that a little bit filled out a little bit. And then maybe add a little bit of brown back here too. Because like he's got he's got these like little brown patches all over him. But that's all blurred out, so I want that to be super kind of faded out back here. And then maybe come back over that with some white just to. So it's just like layers. Like, hey, dog, how are we doing on time? It's too early. Go back to sleep. I rely on these dogs as like an alarm clock, but their time is off when it comes to these things. I think it's because like whenever I get animated or something, they're like, "Oh, something's going on. We're gonna get some food." They live for treats. Oh shit! I shouldn't have said that. They love dog biscuits. I don't think they actually like the treat itself. I think they just like that I'm giving them something that they didn't have, or something that the cat can't have, something like that. Yeah, Bear's adorable, isn't she? Bear would look cool in this style, I think. She's an adorable dog. She's so goofy too. Like the other day, she was laying in the chair and she like draped over. Her tongue was all hanging out. I thought I don't know what was like. I didn't know what was wrong with her. She just looked like she was broken. She's such a funny dog. Some little specks up in through here. So I already had some specs and stuff from like the watercolor thing, but I think like reinforcing some of those with the pastels look good. Again, I don't want to get too crazy with like taking away from like um, the watercolor underlayer, but you know, darken in some of this stuff back here. You see that I blur out anything that isn't like detailed. So like if you look at a photo, was it like DSLR or something like that? Whatever it is that like has a focal point and then like everything becomes like blurred out from that. That's kind of what I'm going for here. Where some parts are like blur and then some parts aren't. So this effect here where you actually have the pastel kind of chalked out a little bit like the texture and stuff of that over the watercolor, it's just kind of a cool effect. So literally I could stop right now and call this done, and I'm kind of tempted to just because I don't want to screw it up. Um, I think maybe a little bit more just right through here, and I think that that's about as far as I want to go. Maybe I want to maybe I want like a little bit of a definition of some hair back here, but I don't want to get too crazy with that. I like how it's kind of left up to the imagination that back there. But let me add a little bit of detail through here. I know it's a little bit earlier than usual, but I feel like I don't want to. I don't want to overdo it. So I like that. And then I think I'm going to add a few little strands of white highlights. I'm going to kind of try to curl those a little bit. Yeah. Good. Yeah, I like that. And then I think a few highlights through here. Same deal, kind of curl it up a little bit. Again, you can't fix horses' hair. Horses are kind of like all over the place, crazy with their hair. If you did have like a flowing mane, like looking like Fabio or something like that, it's not going to look realistic. You have to just let it be crazy. Um, all right, now I kind of want. He's got he's got like little whiskers down here, but the problem is I don't think I'll be able to pull that off with any kind of medium that I've used so far. So I'm going to cheat and use this gel pen, and I hope this works. I don't know. I've been over relying on this gel pen. It's kind of gotten a little bit gunky. So I think if I just lightly go across these, yeah, just kind of lightly go across here, I can get these like little whiskers in here. They have it's almost like a little goatee. But this is like the little details, you know, like if you put in these like little details and stuff, it looks great. It's awesome. You've done your job. Just, I mean, these little details, they go like a long way. I keep having to go off the camera because it gets kind of clunked up and I have to kind of like clear it out. But like these little whiskers and stuff give something for your eyeball to kind of like hold on to. But it does get clogged up with the pastel and stuff in the pen. There you go. Anyway, Sasha Sacco. March for Life, the abortion Holocaust must be abolished. Unborn babies are people too. Hey, there we go. Now we've got a. Now we need a mod. All right, cool. Finally, we got some little political garbage that I can just like. Let's see, remove, boom, and then put the user in timeout for 24 hours. Nice. Finally, I get to mod, do some mod stuff. That's cool. Yay. Neat. That's how you know you're getting big, right? So like the Nirvana, one of my favorite bands of all time and stuff. Nirvana said that they knew they hit it big when The Simpsons did a parody of them, right? So I know that my channel's gotten so huge that I've got spammers in here. Yes, so I have arrived. I've got spammers. That's so cool. Anyway, yeah, I guess I got to get some mods in here at some point. I'll mod you at some point, Rome Dog, and anybody else who might need one. We'll sort that out. Remind me or whatever. But yeah, no, that's kind of cool. I mean, I know that you're not supposed to think that that's cool, but yeah, that is kind of cool. I love it. Yeah, Stalker is next. That'd be awesome. Um, yeah. No, I don't need any of those actually. No. I'm like, no, I'm good. I can do without those. Let's see. Let me get some highlights into here. But no, that's kind of cool. Yeah, I've got people spamming my chat. That's awesome. I mean, you get spammed with like something more interesting though. I don't know, like a really good conspiracy theory or something spam. That'd be awesome. Hey, kid is yeah. So you guys who are always here and stuff, I'll make you guys mods. I'll remember to after this, I guess. I'll make a note of it or something. But yeah, so that's how you know you arrived. Either The Simpsons do a parody of you or something, or you end up getting spammed. That's cool. Hey, at least it's mild, like it's not adult content or something like that. That was going around for a while, a couple of years back. It's just like a bunch of links to bad things, and glad that that's not the case. I love this horse. This is looking pretty cool. Can post post a clip of Jeremy drinking his paint water. Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah, I forgot you have to be a mod to post links. Maybe I should make you a mod, kid. Like, suddenly I don't trust a kid to be a mod. Yeah, it's all good. Hey, that is pretty cool though. Like that's awesome. Like out of the blue, somebody comes in and starts spamming. That's neat. Yeah, so it's like the combination of things. So you put in like some dark area here, for example, and then you kind of come back in and you put some white over it, and that kind of layering and stuff just kind of goes a long way to kind of conveying hair. Like that there's hair back there. Like your mind as a human being has already figured that out. Um, but you still hint at it a little bit. And just throwing in like a few little highlights and stuff like that. But I like this. I think this looks pretty good. I do think that probably I need to call it done. I mean, we're at the hour and 28-minute mark, but also I don't know how much more else I can add to this without screwing it up. Let me fix up the eye a little bit here. The fun thing is I didn't really intentionally add a highlight to his eye. It just kind of worked out that way. All right. I think this is probably as good as it's going to get. Yeah, Jerry, you'll get a stalker soon. That's big time. Hey, like if somebody like adores my art that much, that'd be awesome. I think I could live with that. It's like, it'd be great. All right, I'm gonna add a little bit of white up here just to kind of Yeah, you're okay, dog. Give me a minute. Arr. Can you guys hear that? That's my dog. You sound like a dying chicken. Arr. That's so. That's sad. You're above that. You're a better dog than that. Kind of highlighting up here in the forehead a little bit. Yeah, I like that a little bit better. Okay, I'm happy with that. All right, cool. You thought it was my stomach. I mean, it could be my stomach at some time, but no, this one was my dog. She's just so weird. She's such a weird dog. She does these weird noises. She does weird things. She's a weird little dog. I love her. She's awesome. All right, I think I'm done. I can continue messing with this, but I think this guy's done. Willie says that looks amazing. I appreciate that. Kid says pizza time. Nice. Um, yeah, it is. Well, no, pizza time's tomorrow. Sometimes I do eat pizza and then I come on here on the live stream. And I'm just like, like, yeah. First spammer, nice. Yep, that's a Hallmark day for us, so that's cool. We're moving up in the world, guys. At some point, it's all gonna be spammers. You guys are all just gonna be bots. Yeah, but I like this. So if I can kind of recap, the idea was that I would use watercolor to kind of create some style and kind of like figure out where things are, and then I would come back with pastels and do a drawing over that. And I think we were pretty successful. This is looks like a horse to me, but not just a horse. It looks like a cool horse, which is what I was going for. I love the style of my coffee art that I've been doing, and I've been struggling to find a way to take that kind of coolness of the coffee art and translate it to like some of my drawings that I like to do. I feel like this is probably my first successful one of that, so it's awesome. Kid says, Jeremy, we always get our money's worth no matter how long the stream is. Yes, you always get your money's worth because it's completely free channel. All my advice, even my terrible advice, is completely free. I will never charge you guys for bad advice. So, yeah, you always get your money's worth here. Yes, I will never charge for bad advice, which is all my advice right now, but sorry. I don't know why I tinker with things after I call them done. But yeah, let's call this done. All right, anyway, I appreciate you guys hanging out with me on a Thursday night. We are kicking off this year and, producing a lot of cool stuff. So, like, hopefully you guys have been enjoying yourself. Um, you know, if you guys are in the California, relax, dog. If you guys are in the California wildfire areas, my heart goes out to you guys. I hope you guys are safe. Remember, your possessions are not your life. The people in your life are your life. So hopefully you guys do well. If you're like me and you're out in the frozen tundra out there and stuff, hopefully you guys pull through that. I think we're going to get like maybe 6 inches of snow, or maybe less. But yeah, it'll probably be this entire weekend that we're snowed in. So sometimes it happens. It's really pretty out there. I'm going to go and take some pictures at some point. But anyway, appreciate you guys hanging out with me. Hopefully you guys have a great weekend. I will. That dog, man. What is wrong with you? I will see you guys on Tuesday. Have a good one. Bye. Thanks.